Yes, God. Today, April 29th, 2020, the end of winter, coming to spring. You see the ice is melting, and those trees are going to come back to life. So we're coming from the death of these trees to the resurrection. They're going to resurrect. They're going to come back to life. Maybe when they do, if I'm still putting up videos, I will show you this same part next time it starts, when it's all with leaves. But that's a rock over there, and these trees are growing out of the rock. As you can see, there's proof right there. There's weed on there. There is grass. There is some bushes, some little branches that are for some berries for other birds to eat from that. It's a rock, but it is alive. So that's like you. Your body is the earth, or what they call the dead part, or the dim part that doesn't move. It looks dead to you, but it's alive. It brings out your hair. It brings out your beards. It brings out your pubic, all that nails. Those nails. It grows a lot of things, and most people don't pay attention on this growth. This is the small things that really count. So truth is facts. You can show evidence. That is evidence of you being that is outside there. That being said, I used to be a demon, or I used to not pay attention to my body. And I get excited like the child is supposed to be. It's not, the children don't know anything about their body. They are just learning the limitation of this body. That's why children, you see them crawling and running, even if you tell them don't, because they're still not figuring out. They're still in their dim or dumb or dead state. They are running the program, the light or the energy is running them in the background. And what they're doing is taking information in and learning everything they have to know about thyself. Now, if you get them when they are that young and put them in some community or some organization and mess them up, the opportunity to beat them, abuse them, molest them, they lose that self-teaching aspect of their lives. You see, the children, we call them, they say kids are innocent. Or when a child gets in over 18 or 16, whatever age, they say that they're no longer, or some people now stay, we call them innocent. But what we are trying to say is that they are in no sense of understanding what's happening. So when you say you're innocent, what you're saying is in no sense. You are in no sense. And if you understand, you are in sense of what you're doing. It's like a person being in an accident and cause an accident happen, but without knowing what's happening. So he didn't pay attention, and he was not in his right. He was not paying attention. He was not sensible of what they were doing, and the accident happened. So for some time we can say that they were not paying attention. Okay, but they are sensible human beings. If it happens, that's why you take responsibility and say, I was not paying attention. Let me take care of this. Let me pay for the vehicle, let me pay for the treatment, let me take care of this person, and or so and forth, you know. But for people who are in no sense, if it happened, they're like, I don't know, it just happened. You say, what do you mean it just happened? You know, innocent children are in that state. They are in innocence. They are not paying. They don't have any sense of any clue, nothing, nada, nay, nothing, you know, of what's happening. They have no sense of that, but they are taking in the program. They are taking in information. So when they get in an accident or do something that is when they are walking and they fall, they don't understand that they're falling. They just now realizing, oh, okay. So if I move like this, I looked in the balance. So I need to bring myself this way. I need to bring myself that way. I have to do this. And then if I need help, I cry. But this doesn't hurt. Or let me try this little thing, slowly by slowly. But some people, and when they're young, under the age of 10, you should not abuse or beat these kids because they have no sense of what's happening. At least you speak to them and you can use a better discipline method, like put them in timeout or something that you also feel that that is humane. But beating, getting a stick or getting a belt or getting a wire or getting a weapon, those are weapons. You're getting a weapon to beat a child that does not have any sense. That's an abuse that happens, and people don't even understand it. Because you're beating out the enlightenment, the studying, the understanding. So now it's going into a program that they are not even aware. They can't make proper judgment with this program. Now they're going into a dumb and fearful state of mind where they're dead and everything's going to run in the background of what they're taught. So that's why you see kids, they do what they do because they're trying to understand themselves. When I was kid or when I was a child, I was molested by friends and or people I thought like the familiar people who like I put around, like I thought they wanted to be my familiar with me. They want to be like together and we have like this so-called friendship or whatever. And like a little community, because that's what happens. Little communities, or community or big community, whatever organization, religious organization, whatever organization, little things, they destroy the individual, they destroy the human, the God within, and they put a program that you have to follow. And I was beaten at school by teachers and also my parents when I was growing up. And I was saddened me very much, and I never understood what type of life what type of this of thing is this? Where I was brought in without my permission, without knowing what's happening, what happened, and now they beating me and abusing me of something I don't have a clue. And for people not taking responsibility for taking care of the kids, this is why the whole world, the world we live in now, has these people who are in this psychopathic behavior, because you cycle into your pain and suffering, and you always use that pain and reflect it on others, because it's a cycle that comes back. And then also you have these narcissists. They nasty this behavior, and they thought it was okay. You see, that's why they were narcissists. You nurse it to this behavior, and people think it's okay. And because that's what they've been uh, brought up or programmed to think is good. So they have this resentment towards themselves and since they don't love themselves, so they do it to others. And for and then I sexually harassed by my family member, and this is all happening under the age of 10. It is it's getting a little bit better when I got over the age of 10, but it was still there was still pain and suffering of not understanding. Started smoking, started trying to figure out what is the right way to be in this thing, in this simulation, in this world. What is happening? How is the right way to live in it? Because I didn't have any guidance from I didn't have the right knowledge. I did not know where to fall, when to fall off the edge. I did not learn it when I'm young, because that's when you learn all these things. What is the best place? What's the best way to communicate? What's the best way to resolve situations? What are the best ways to empower you to get yourself worth and find thyself? So and yet it's all inside you. You created yourself, meaning the light inside you, the spark that generated the negative, your male and female energy, came together. And just to digress a little bit, for people who don't understand the male and the female energy, or the angel and the demon, what you have to remember, that when they're talking about, like in the biblical or Quranic text, they are talking about female. When they talk about females, they're talking about your soul. They're talking about something that has to do with the nature, something you don't see, the esoteric. Then when they're talking about the things that you can't see, the things that you, like, you see the rock, right? But you don't see what happens, what makes that tree grow out of that rock, or the soil, what makes the tree grow out of that soil. You get what I'm saying? The energy, because you brought a seed together there, it fell in the rock, or whatever happened in the soil, and then what started that one? That's the one you want to know. That is the soul, the one you don't see, the female, because that's the mother nature. That's the one, that the female energy. Now, when they talk about the male, they're talking about the physical things you touch, things you can feel with you, and also things you can sometimes smell too, but not exactly like smell, but I mean like something that is solid, something that is liquid, things like that. That's when they're talking about that's the male energy. So back to the point. So basically what I'm talking about is abuse, child abuse into adulthood. And people, when these things happen, these kids, these children that were once children and now grown up, still acting and still behaving like children. I know some people will say, like what? They say, look at your leaders, or look at people you say they are leading you. Most of them are psychopaths or narcissists or terrors. They terrorize you. They make you feel like you are nothing. You are nobody, and yet you give them all this power, and that's yet that's what you inspire to be. But even though they never told you how you can get to that inspire to that point, to get there, to lead there, because they don't want you to be in that position. That's why you are kept in that position. So, and yet you all came in this world. There is no such thing as a special people. There is no such thing. Everybody is the same. You all have the same energy experiencing itself, but some people have taken the negative and they're serving the negative part, meaning they're serving their desires, things that are their addictions with the body, what the body wants, and they're not serving what people would call, for lack of a better word, spiritual word, or the best word to use are the God or Allah or the energy, the real creator, the creation that is unseen. That one is the one that sparks everything to come to existence, the zero, the nothingness. So childhood for some, for most, actually not some, for most of the world's population has been in darkness. That's why you're in darkness, and now it's time to, like this winter, to come out of winter. Now you have to come into the light. You have to come into the summer. So that's what it means, you to resurrect. You have to resurrect that that spark, that creativity inside you. But you have to first understand who are you. You know, if you don't understand that part, you can't be a better, you can't be enlightened or a better, a great human being. You know, people talk about people who fight, who do whatever. The good human being is the one that understands the right and wrong, who eats from the tree of knowledge up here. You have to get there, process it, look, understand it, and let the enlightenment, the inside, tell you. You see, people who are right now, they've never, most of them they never went to school. Most of your leaders, in case you didn't know that, or they've never actually, most of the people in the world never, but you, most of the world does those things, you know. And you wonder, why would someone set you up a good something for you to do when they didn't do it in the first place? You know, it doesn't make any sense. They have reached their highest peak, but they're not even teaching you how to get to that peak, but they want you to learn something that is completely bizarre and don't make sense at all.